Ben's kitchen, and today we're making, can you guess? We're making corn chowder. So I'm just going to start up. Right now I have some butter that I browned that I've taken off the heat, and I'm going to add the corn to it and get it starting to cook. And over here on the back burner, we have a broth being made with the corn cobs, some shiitake stems, thyme, marjoram, black pepper, bay leaves, and a Parmesan rind. Yes, that's going to be so good. So you may have noticed that most of the corn that I'm using is white sweet corn. I love yellow corn, but most of it just didn't look very good at the supermarket. And so, you kind of got to work with what looks good. That's a really important thing when you're cooking with produce in general, because not everything that a recipe calls for is going to look good where you are. So buy what looks better. So now I just have some salt and pepper. We are just going to cook this until it is starting to really look nice and brown. Not like brown, but it's going to start to get a little brown on the edges, and we'll develop some corn fond, which is what, and we'll deglaze that with some white wine that I have here in my mason jar. Just a quarter cup of that, and then we'll start to build the soup up from there. Alright, so this corn is now done. You can see the pot, it looks burnt, but it's actually not. That's a lot of flavor down there. So we're going to take the corn out, and we're going to deglaze the pan with that white wine. Look at that good stuff. So here I'm deglazing. Sorry, it's really steamy. And that is a lot of flavor I'm getting from this. It looks burnt, but I swear it's not. It looks gross, I know. But this is actually going to be really, really tasty. Alright. I've emptied that out, and I added some olive oil. And now for what really makes a chowder a chowder. Bacon! Yeah, the cool thing about this recipe though is it has shiitake mushrooms in it. So you can actually substitute more shiitake mushrooms the same in weight. So this is 4 ounces of bacon, which is a quarter pound. You can substitute 4 ounces of shiitake mushrooms and just get them nice and brown. And it won't taste quite as good, but it'll taste really, really good still. So the bacon is cooking. We're trying to render out that fat so it can get nice and crispy. Here's that corn with the fond and wine mixture in it. And this are what we're going to be adding next. These are some thinly sliced leek shallots, garlic, and then the sliced shiitake mushrooms with the stems that we put into that big pot back there. We're also going to add some russet potatoes, 1 pound to be exact. It's going to be so good. Oh my god. I don't know if I said this already, but this is my all-time favorite soup. It's from Bon Appétit. I did not make this recipe up myself, but it is just ridiculously good. Oh, I'm so excited. You can see all of that bacon fat that is rendered out. Something that's cool that happens when you render fat out of meat is that basically once it renders out, you are then deep frying the meat in its own fat. Which, I don't know about you, but deep frying in bacon fat sounds amazing. I'm sorry if you're vegetarian or vegan. I know this may be gross to you. And like I said, the shiitake mushrooms are a great substitute. But if you do add them, you do need to add a little bit more fat to the thing, because you don't get all this bacon fat that comes with it. It's like olive oil or butter or what have you. Okay, that looks done to me. I don't know about you guys. So I'm going to add in the potatoes and the vegetables that I just talked about. Here we go. Lots of potatoes. Lots of good vegetables. They all just go right in together. Alright. This is going to be so good. And these will all cook down a lot. I know it looks crazy, but they'll cook down a lot. Especially the mushrooms. Alright, bye. It smells so good in here. It smells like leeks and shallots. Imagine that. Yeah, anyways. So this recipe had 1 pound of russet potatoes, 1 leek, but just the light green and white parts thinly sliced, and then 2 or 3 shallots. I used 5 small shallots just because I didn't know what else I was going to use the extra 2 shallots for, so I was like, what the heck. And then it also has 2 cloves of garlic in it. And of course the bacon. So good. Alright. Just look at that. Oh yeah, and 4 ounces, that's a 1/4 pound of shiitake mushrooms. So the other thing that this recipe has in it, which I think is really cool, is Fresno chilies. These are like medium to hot chilies. They're really, really good. They have a lot of flavor. They're kind of fruity. They're kind of like, you know, chili. Over here I just have the peels from the garlic. I guess I'll use this time to tell you one of my favorite things that I do with kitchen scraps. So anything that's not cabbage or light cabbage, I freeze in these bags. And so like I have carrots, I have leeks, I have mushrooms, I have all this stuff that would normally go in the trash, and I freeze them. Once it's enough, I make vegetable stock from it, and then I make soup with that vegetable stock. So like pumpkin soup, I made a roasted garlic Asiago soup with it once. A super good idea. I highly recommend it. I would say that just make sure you don't put any like Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, or anything like that, because that will just completely overwhelm the flavor. Same for asparagus or beets, anything like that. But everything else is totally fair game. Much those have cooked down. Now that those are all soft and good, I'm gonna add in the chilies. And cook these in and stir them until they get soft and lose a little bit of their heat. When you cook chilies, they lose heat. And fun fact about like chilies and peppers is that they contain something called capsaicin, which is what makes them spicy. And the spiciness level is measured in Scoville heat levels. I can't remember if that's what it's called. But basically capsaicin can work kind of like an antioxidant, especially if it's paired with fat in your body. So eating Tabasco, hot sauce, peppers, or chilies is actually really good for you. Alright, bye! Now that the chilies have softened some, I'm going to add in some flour. This is, 2 tablespoons of flour, all-purpose flour. And this will kind of act as the thing that will basically thicken this chowder. So this whole thing of chowder only needs 2 tablespoons of flour, which I think is kind of crazy, but it works. It's a great thick chowder. I've had loose chowders before, like at Standing Stone, and I gotta say, I'm not a fan. I think a chowder should be thick. It should, like, cling to the spoon. Alright. That is well mixed in. I have the broth here from the thing that was in this pot. I strained it, and it's reduced by about half. And I'm going to add that in here now. So yeah, and then I'll bring this to a boil, and this will thicken up, and we'll get the potatoes nice and tender. Alright, see you soon. Alright guys, so the potatoes are tender, so I'm going to add in this mixture. I've added a pint of half and half to this. That's 2 cups. The recipe calls for heavy cream, but I just decided that I wanted to make this recipe healthy, so I'm only using half and half. Yeah, that's a joke. This recipe is not healthy, but it is delicious, and the half and half is just cheaper, so that's why I'm using it. And I don't think I'll miss a little bit of cream. Alright. So here it all is. Well, everything except some freshly chopped marjoram. And that's going to go in at the last minute, but we're just going to let this sit here and thicken and simmer for at least 5 minutes. It's going to get really good. Yum. So this is done simmering. It's gone nice and thick, as you can see. So I'm going to add in the marjoram here. And that's just going to add some brightness to this whole heaviness of this dish. I think that the marjoram is actually like an insanely good addition, and I think it really sets this apart from other chowders I have had. Other chowders don't really tend to have any fresh elements in them. Alright, so when I spoon this up, we have to wait 15 minutes. I will show you what it looks like in a bowl. Oh my god, it's so exciting. Alright, this is the last one. Here we go. Look at how thick that is. Look at how much just stuff there is in this. It is so good. It's like not even, it's like almost like a stew. Just take a little bit. And now, there's some oyster crackers. Look at that. Thank you all for watching.